the guarantee. With your bullshit. Nigga, shit about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds like Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no grace. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no day. Fuck around and end up going. You getting misplaced. Can't need the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game. I storm like Ray's mixtape. Thankfully, I pin up the smoke like my mixtape. County tennis shit. I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good deeds. Oh my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough. You need the whole team. I've been the G since I can finish my ABCs. Kept in the buck so real niggas look up. This bitch of boy shit get crazy. When it's sick of me, I'm pumping out these dope bars till they sick. Thank you, enemy. Still can find a remedy. Still blowing palms. Anthem comes to Hennessy. Even on our shit independently. When I go off on a limb, I take remedies. I can see right through transparency. Like self-esteem, low insecurities. Now or never like push the guarantee. What's the recipe? King Elder Flesh drink. All these chapters in my life, turn the page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live with that. Blitz got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the scene, you can copy that. Make your whole state red like a pumpkin. Put a fire on a track, now it's bubbling. Put your boys eating it, you a trouble kid. It ain't that first 100 mil, you can double. Let's go, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show, let it show. Automatic nigga, how we do the dough. It ain't but you probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go, let's go. All the hustles getting money, let it show, let it show. Automatic nigga, how we do the dough. It ain't but you probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, let's go. Love sick around the jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side bad jacks out to Florida measure. Shake the extra stats, this is start of me street. Use what I talk, when your blood flowing free. I'm on my mind, knows the gang is gone. Read between the lines, it was in my eyes. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, firm, gully mountain shit. Couple high shots, turning to frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless peaches. That shit ain't gotta pay for these flawless peaches. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I'm on the plane outside. The little shake will take over with my time side. Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they do hard though. My blood be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My group came back. This must be how still it felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pro. This is how the belt shut up. You better yell out help. Here comes the double G. You catch me at the spot. Then you know that the boy is clean. With the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. Yo, back in. If you was leaving from my came, then all that caffeine. I'm pulling jokers off the neck. You ain't no laughing. It's CEO fashion. We sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let her begin. I made off my chick. Something about the BBS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting lit. Let's go. All the hustles get your money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga. How we get the dough. It ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga. Let's go. All the hustles get your money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga. How we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit. Let's go. Yeah. What up? Y'all already know it's the guy versus Red, aka Shots with the Facts, man. And we here. Another episode of Real Talk Podcast. What it do, man? K Blackman, what it do? XL Pro, what it do, man? Everybody that's tapped in with us, what it do? What's good with y'all? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Apologies about last night. My pops wasn't feeling too good. You know what I'm saying? He hit me up earlier in the day yesterday, and he said he wasn't feeling too good. You know what I'm saying? And I talked to him later yesterday. He just was like, he said he good. He just need to get some rest, man. You know, his leg been bothering him and stuff. So, you know, he just been wanting to fall back and chill, man. So we want to send prayers out to Pops. You know what I'm saying? When I get out the gym tomorrow, I'm going to go check on him to make sure he good.
You know what I'm saying? He assured me that I don't have to, but I'm going to anyway. So when I get out of the gym tomorrow, man, I'm going to go pull down on my pops. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to go pull down on him, go pull tight on him. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure everything good with the big homie. You dig? You know what I'm talking about? What's good with y'all though, man? And next Sunday, we're going to get to it. And it's still going to be the same thing. I don't even know why, right? I should have kept it on there, but it's all good. We're going to get to it, man. The spiritual roots of you. You did. I should just transfer it to next week. I don't even know why I erased it, but I can just make another one. It's all good. Anyway, what's good with y'all, man? How you doing out there today in the land of the living? You dig? We here, man. It's Monday. You know what I'm talking about? Let me get the correct date so I don't tell y'all the wrong date, man. I'll be losing track of time. I don't pay attention. It's the 5th. Today is Monday, June 5th. You understand me? 2023. And we here. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all tapped in with me. I appreciate, like I always tell y'all, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever think a brother like me take anything for granted. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the love and all the support. Like I say, y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all tapped in right here with me, man. I appreciate that, man. You know, I respect that. I don't care if it was one person up in here, you hear me? I respect that. I appreciate that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, tonight, we're going to get to it tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? From the Coliseum, you hear me? From the Coliseum to the Octagon, right? I know a lot of y'all probably seen this title and probably like, man, where's this nigga Virg going with this one? You feel me? Tap in and walk with me. You dig? Now, how many of y'all are familiar with Roman history? Huh? How many of y'all familiar with Roman history? You know, they still alive to this day, man. The Roman Empire they just switched their demo up. You hear me? There's a Roman Empire, and now they call it the Roman Catholic Church, man. You feel me? And I know a lot of y'all probably seen that title and like, man, where this dude Virg going with this, man? This is another aspect of my thesis, man, that I call the Ouroboros agenda, man. And it didn't start at the Colosseum in Rome, right? This is not where it originated at, but it is where it how can I say it? This is where it culminated at, where it reached its height in ancient society. You feel me? And I put hashtag bread and circuses, man. You feel me? Because when you study throughout history, right? If you study ancient civilizations and stuff like that, what you're going to find is that they began to crumble and decay and fall apart when they start doing things that what similarly is happening present day. You know, they started letting fun boys have say so, letting women have say so. And right when all of that stuff culminated together and came to its apex, they started making it popular and making it fun, you know what I'm talking about, to watch people for sport and entertainment fight each other. This is something that's been going on for time immemorial, man. This ain't nothing new. Like I say, the Roman Colosseum is not where it originated. Because if you ever watched the movie Gladiator, you'll see that before they got to the Colosseum, all around the world, man, in different cities, man, and countries, man, they had their own little, I guess you could call them little fight clubs. You understand what I'm saying? Slavery was big time popping back in these days, man. You hear me? And you know what I'm saying? For sport, they would allow slaves to possibly get their freedom back if they could fight and win in the goddamn gladiator arena. He did. And of course, y'all, and then I had to use my man Russell Crowe, right? I had to use my brother Russell Crowe for a thumbnail, man, because you know that movie Gladiator, one of the illest movies ever, man. You know what I'm talking about? You did. Not what y'all know about Gladiator Part 2 is supposed to be coming out. Huh? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know it's supposed to be a Gladiator Part 2 coming out? I ain't gonna perp. I didn't know that. I just found that out earlier today. To be all the way honest with y'all, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Bread and circuses, y'all. Y'all familiar with that term? How many of y'all heard the term bread and circuses before? Oh, that's a shitty ass trailer. They keep talking about these gladiator twos, man. You know, bread and circuses, man. It was a term that came out, you know what I'm saying, a couple few years back that was referring to, you know what I'm saying, that was referring to what the Coliseum actually was. Bread and circuses is a term basically that is used when we say that basically the government is uh, using using diversion tactics, man, to divert our attention away from important stuff like what's going on in the government by entertaining us with bread and circuses, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and reason why I say bread and circuses because if you pay attention to these scenes in the movie Gladiator, right? Remember that was if you pay attention to the movie Gladiator when it first on the first battle scene or fight scene or whatever in the arena in the Coliseum that was tossing out loaves of bread to the audience. You know what I'm saying? And this is what Caesar would do, man. You know, man, a lot of them people who used to come to the Coliseum was poor people, man. Most of them people in the Coliseum was poor people. And to keep the poor people entertained, right, they would have them, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, not only entertain, but to indoctrinate them with fear, right? And to also violently radicalize them, right? They would have these battles, these live battles to the death, right? In the Coliseum. And not only was it used for that, but it was also used to show them that, you know, even a slave could somehow, you hear me, get your slavery back. If only you could survive the Coliseum, right? And then, you know, it'll indoctrinate the young people, especially the young men, the young boys, They wanted to grow up to be warriors. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a full out psychological operation, ancient psychological operations, you know what I'm saying? Ancient psychological or ancient psyops. You understand what I'm saying? It still go on to this day. That's why I say from the Coliseum to the Octagon, right? Yeah, these trailers are shitty. Y'all remember this movie Gladiator, man? With my man Russell Crowe in it, man. It hands down one of my favorite movies, man. I don't think Russell Crowe played in a better role since this movie, man. That's why we want to watch Gladiator again, man. Are you not entertained? All right. My nigga said, are you not entertained, man? Are y'all not entertained? Right? So back in the day, we had the Coliseum, man. Right? Where slaves can go and possibly get their freedom back if they could only survive brutal to the death combat. You hear me, man? And, you know, this was a tool that was used by Caesar, man, in the Roman government. Now, y'all know that the Roman government was basically the synagogue of Satan, man. You feel me? So the Roman government already knew what this type of indoctrination would do to the people. You know what I'm saying? It did so much. And like I say, it's still going on to this day, man. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that this is part of what I call the Ouroboros agenda, because even in the ancient times, we was being indoctrinated with consuming ourselves. And I want y'all to understand that when you get pleasure, or you are being made to believe you supposed to be getting pleasure from somebody else's misery, you know what I'm saying? That is a part of consuming ourselves, man. That is a part of the Ouroboros agenda, man. You know what I'm talking about? And it's also part of the Excel Pro, what it do. And it's also part of the agenda, right, to violently radicalize us, violently radicalize us with ideologically based violence, right? And see, back in the day, man, especially in them ancient Roman time, yeah, distractions from reality, exactly, Excel Pro. I couldn't have said it better. That's exactly. Like I said, bread and circuses, man, bread and circuses. We're going to give you free food because who doesn't like or want free food, right? And we also want to entertain y'all. You hear me? At the same time we're entertaining y'all, we're indoctrinating y'all with fear and violence. You know what I'm talking about? Although it may appear to be in a controlled environment, right? It still is nonetheless spreading the ideology of violently radicalizing us, right? And one of the main reasons why Caesars or the Roman Empire used to have the gladiators, basically the gladiator show, if you want to call it. It would always be around election time too. It would always be around the time when they're electing new heads of state to the government, right? Think about that. Think about that in consideration when we're talking about ancient Roman society, right? So the Colosseum was a tool that was used to not only distract the people from what was going on inside the Roman government, but also to instill and indoctrinate them with fear. You know, Caesar would come, whoever the Caesar was at that time, right? They would come to the Colosseum, commiserate the battles or the mock battles or the fights or whatever. It was a free event. Everybody was in Rome was welcome to come, right? And it was a place to where people could trade their slaves. You know, you could sell your slaves. People who were enslaved could possibly get their freedom back if they could survive, right? And it was also to indoctrinate people with the power and the omniscience of the Roman Empire, right? Right? And just like any other ancient society or even present society, ancient Rome was ran off of the backs of slaves. Right? Slavery ain't nothing new, man. It's been around for millennia. Right? Just like poverty ain't nothing new. We're gonna talk about that on another show too. You understand what I'm saying? We definitely going to chop it up about that.
The Colosseum, one of the most iconic buildings in the world, has stood for over 2,000 years. But what happened to the missing half of this ancient marvel? During the Roman Empire, the Colosseum faced many challenges, including a devastating fire in 217 AD that caused some serious damage. And while the wooden parts were repaired, the interior structure was weakened. After the Roman Empire collapsed, the Colosseum was taken over by the church. They built a chapel inside the structure and the arena was converted into a cemetery. It was then repurposed as a castle until a major earthquake in 1349 caused the south side to collapse. In the next centuries, the Colosseum was plundered for its materials, with the stone and bronze clamps stripped off its walls. And in the 16th century, the Colosseum was restored under the commission of the Pope. The Colosseum.
They used to have whole mock battle scenes in the goddamn arena, man, in the goddamn Coliseum. They would fill it up with water and they would reenact battle scenes on the ocean and stuff like that, man. You know what I'm talking about? And it was a place to where people, you know what I'm saying, like I say, could be entertained, man. You see what Maximus said? He said, "Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?" Right. How many of y'all know that they had a Colosseum in Africa?
I can't believe that this is at least 2,000 years old, and I can only imagine like 30,000 people sitting here, cheering, enjoying the show. This is incredible. And for this site to be in Africa and in this
Uncle Jiggity, what it do, man?
nowhere. I mean, the roads to get to El Jem, not very impressive, but then you get to this spot and it's just mesmerizing.
Mm. How many of y'all knew that? How many of y'all knew it was a Colosseum in Africa? All right. Let's go, man. Tap in, walk with us, Mike.
Amphitheater later became known as the African.
Oh, I gotta show y'all this, man. All right.
Colosseum. The amphitheater originally had a 400-meter circumference. Though about one-third of the original construction has been destroyed, it is still possible to appreciate the sheer scale of the structure. Construction dates back to the height of the city's prosperity during the 3rd century AD. There was capacity here for 35,000 people. The central arena is 65 meters in diameter, as large as the arenas found in Rome. The use of elaborate stage props meant there were performances here on a par with those in Rome itself. Gladiators and wild animals were raised onto the arena from underground. Rooms open out onto the main corridors. They were used to hold animals, slaves, and gladiators before they stepped out into the arena. There were also rooms to store the corpses of the beasts and fighters. Spectators cheered when African wild animals sprang onto the arena from below. El Jem lies on fertile land and has thrived on olive oil production. Additional taxes were imposed on the olive industry to raise money to build the amphitheater. The people of El Jem felt a strong sense of rivalry with Rome and wanted to create a great Colosseum similar in scale to the one there. Local people used the amphitheater as a fortress after the fall of the Roman Empire. They rebelled against the government and fought for their rights, using this building as their base. During the 17th century, the Ottoman Empire attacked the amphitheater and destroyed the western side of the building. The northern side has also been damaged over the centuries. Only the south-facing wall remains intact today. The amphitheater of El Jem is a symbol of the Roman Empire, a power that stretched onto the African continent.
What y'all know about that? The Roman Empire. The Roman Empire wasn't, just subject to just Rome, man. It was all over the world, man. You hear me? How many of y'all heard about El Jem? All right. It was a brief depiction of it, if y'all paid attention, in the movie Gladiator. Right? But they tried to scale it down and they didn't bring it to its full glory because, it was considered the second Colosseum. El Jem is where you went before you made it to the Colosseum. You hear me? Pay attention to that, right? You know what I'm talking about? So, that's why I be telling y'all, man, do y'all history, do y'all due diligence, man. You feel me? From the Colosseum to the Octagon, man. Right? Now, here we got what they call it, am I right when I say this, y'all? Somebody help me out just in case They call it what was it, battle sports or was it contact sport? I forget this a certain word. You feel me? What's the word I'm looking for here? Full body contact, yeah. Full body contact sports, right? Now, if y'all know anything about ancient Rome, man, you know what I'm saying? In the Colosseum, y'all know that this stuff lasted for a nice little bit amount of time, man. Right? And when they used to have these, was it Fly Town 614, what it do, man? My man Fly Town in the building, man, tapping in with his brethren. You did? Yeah, man, the Coliseum wasn't no joke, man. You hear me? Coliseum wasn't no joke. And you know, it used to be very, very brutal, man. You hear me?
Today, I will bring you interesting information about the Colosseum. The Colosseum, originally known as the Flavian Amphitheater, was completed in 80 AD under the rule of Emperor Titus. It was built as a gift to the Roman people, capable of holding an estimated 50,000 to 80,000 spectators. The Colosseum was primarily used for gladiatorial contests, mock naval battles, animal hunts, and other spectacles. These events were a significant part of Roman entertainment and were often free for the public to attend. The Colosseum was damaged by several earthquakes over the centuries, and its original marble facade was largely stripped away and used in other buildings. Today, the Colosseum stands as a symbol of the endurance of ancient Roman engineering. The structure of the Colosseum was designed to allow for efficient entry and exit of the massive crowds. It had 80 entrances, and spectators were assigned specific different seats based on their social status. Thanks for watching. Today, I will bring you interesting information about.
How many of y'all knew that, man? They had assigned seating. Where y'all think all that stuff come from with the concerts and stuff nowadays, man? Ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing changed. Huh? Where y'all think y'all think that's some new shit? Y'all think that's some new shit? You know, because listen, hey, man, up here in Ohio, man, I don't know if y'all hip. I don't know if y'all hip to it, but October 4th in my city, Columbus, Ohio, the world famous, infamous, legendary Wu-Tang Clan will be at the Schottenstein Arena on Ohio State campus. I will be in attendance. I caught my ticket like 3 months ago, right? 2 months ago. And we got assigned seating. Whenever you go to a concert or a venue, concert at a venue, you got to assign seat. Where y'all think that come from, man? That come from Rome. You did? Nothing new under the sun, BJ. Nothing new under the sun, bro. You hear me? And that's the basic theme of tonight's show is there's nothing new under the sun. And also to show y'all, put on display how the same tactics from back then are being used now. I want to put on display how the very same thing that led up to the collapse of the Roman Empire, the exact same things are happening right now. But this time we're talking about the American Empire, or if you want to, the current global empire with the American Empire, or the American aspect of it, or the American facet of it crumbling, right? There's a lot of things that start to happen in a society when it is on its down incline, when it's on its fall, when it's about to collapse. And everything that's going on in our current society, not just in America, but all over the world, is the exact same environment which was going on during the collapse of Rome. And something that I'm going to get into with y'all is how the Roman Empire never really collapsed. We just been made to think and believe it did. But it actually was changed, rearranged, and is now called the Holy Roman Catholic Church. That's another topic for another day. We're going to get to that, though, right? Yeah, that's all just rebranded. That's all renamed, rebranded. Same demons, different name. You feel me? Ain't nothing changed. Nothing changed at all. No, I mean, nothing's changed. Like nothing. Are you not entertained? Right? Are you not entertained, man? Right? And see now, even to our current days, right? Now we got the octagon. You feel me? Hold on, man. I didn't even know about this, man. I ain't hip to this, man. What y'all know about this, man? How many of y'all know that back in the day, I gotta come up for this, man. How many of y'all knew that back in the day, Chuck Norris played in a movie called The Octagon? And The Octagon was a movie where warriors came from all over to fight each other to death in the octagon. Did y'all ever see this movie before? Hold on, let's listen.
No one will admit they still exist. Efficient killers who work in silence, secrecy, darkness.
I ain't into this.
Unholy masters of terror. By magic. The man he once called brother is now his deadly enemy. He must find the strength in him to become everything he hates.
I wanted you because you could succeed.
My nigga Chuck Norris, man. This movie came out in 1980, man.
Everybody wants something from him. A prisoner of his own destiny. He will find freedom only one way.
My man Chuck Norris was one of the coldest back in the days, man. Y'all ever heard about this movie, man? Y'all ever seen this movie? My nigga Lee Van Cleef. No one will admit that they still exist. Underground fighting circuits, man. And yeah, just like my man BJ just said, we got plenty of examples of the Roman Colosseum ideology still being present in our current day society, right? Right? In the octagon, when I say the octagon, I'm not talking about just the UFC, right? But I put Israel Adesanya, whatever say his name, I put him up there because, you know, in the ancient times we had the Colosseum in Rome. Present day we got Dana White and we got the octagon. You feel me? Same concept, same concept, different name. You feel me? And just like my brother Flytown 614 said, man, the NFL is the octagon as well, right? Right.
Sweat blood for these men. Giving up my wife, my children for these men. I've given up everything I have for these men. Game is all that matters to me. Classic is pure. It's safe. Life isn't. Any given Sunday, a legend will fall. I need you to lead this team.
I am not re-signing a $7 million a year, 39-year-old quarterback, no matter how great he was.
I've helped build this franchise, which you benefited from. Don't you give up on me. You're like a son to me, Cap. I'll fight for you till the day I die. And next Sunday, a hero will rise. And on any given Sunday, tradition will be broken. He's changing the plays. Just does what he likes. You run the plays, I call. I've been warming the pitch the whole time I've been in the pros. I don't plan on going back. I am QB. You're king in your own mind. He may sell a lot of t-shirts, this kid, but he's tearing his team apart.
Well, then you hold it together. Virgil, why the hell do you think my father put me in charge of bull-headed moron? You got old. No intensity. No victory. Where the hell is your intensity, Tony?
Any given Sunday, life is a contact sport.
Y'all remember that movie, right? Any given Sunday, man. Right? You know what I'm saying? All y'all gotta do, watch any organized sport. You feel me? But specifically and especially football, right? And our current day sports you know what I'm saying, industry on all levels, whether it be collegiate, whether it be professional. They all taken after the Colosseum in Rome, right? Even right here in my city, right? Even here in my city, right? You already know what I'm about to say, man. Buckeye City. You hear me? You know, home to one of the biggest, if not the biggest, arenas in the country. You know what I'm talking about? You know, y'all see that old horseshoe, man? You hear me? If I'm not mistaken, 77,000 people can fit. Well, my fault. 107,000 people can fit in a horseshoe. You know, whenever it's a game up there on campus, man, it'd be crazy. The traffic out there be wild. You hear me? Traffic out there is wild when we having home games. You hear me? I love it. One of the best things I like about my city, man. You know what I'm talking about? But to keep in, you know what I'm saying, and keeping on a theme of what we talking about tonight, you know what I'm saying? It, yeah, USC, I was just about to say that. Because they got a pretty big stadium too. All right. Yeah, they be crazy down there, y'all. Oh, nah, they definitely harnessing. They're definitely harnessing that energy down there for sure. There go USC, the Coliseum. You feel me? Ain't nothing changed, y'all, man. Nothing has changed. Nothing at all has changed, man. You know what I'm talking about? Still the same bread and circuses, man. Right? And this is where they having a Wu-Tang concert at, right? It's a coliseum. It's an indoor coliseum, right? Basically, this is the Schottenstein Arena. This is where the Wu-Tang gonna be at, October 4th. That's a coliseum, right? Look how it's shaped. Circular shape, huge, 3 levels in the center, right? Schottenstein, the world famous Schottenstein Arena. You know, back in the day, the Hard Knock Life tour came here. The Rough Rider Cash Money tour came here. You know, this is a popping venue in the city on Ohio State campus. You understand what I'm saying? The infamous Schottenstein family. You know, these places are still everywhere, man. Bread and circuses, man. Bread and circuses, y'all. Don't ever forget that, right? And most definitely that energy is being harnessed. Now, you ask yourself, how is it being harnessed? Huh? That's the question for y'all to find out for yourself, right? Yeah, man. Now, and see, and as far as from ancient Roman times, right? The octagon or the ultimate fighting, you know what I'm saying, is now a thing. I think personally, I think that the UFC is the perfect updated version of what happens or what happened in the Colosseum back in Rome, right? Any contact sports, any combat, that's the word, combat sports, right? Any type of combat sports where you could potentially die as a result. You understand what I'm saying? Is the updated version of what happened in ancient Rome, right? And the UFC ain't no joke, man. The UFC is raw. Right? And the UFC has taken on the shape of the octagon. Have any of y'all ever asked yourselves why they decided to have the UFC arena in the shape of an octagon? Uh, wonder if any of y'all ever thought about that, right? You said you thought it would infringe on wrestling and boxing. Now, you know what I'm saying? UFC has kind of taken over from wrestling and boxing because professional wrestling was never really like, professional wrestling always has been sports entertainment. But boxing used to be the premier combat sport. But now boxing is kind of taking the back seat. You understand what I'm saying? To the UFC. You know what I mean? Now this is the UFC I remember.
He clearly is way more powerful than Paul Herrera. And quickly Herrera shoots the leg. And Herrera's a very good grappler here. Oh my, elbows in number by Goodrich.
Boy, the UFC, I remember the UFC back in the day, man, when it first came out. I remember when Ken Shamrock and all them, man. The UFC used to be brutal, right? You know what I'm talking about, nigga Ken Shamrock, man? Right? Remember mixed martial arts back in the day when it first came out? Sheesh, brutal. Brutal, man. My nigga Royce DeGracie.
Here. And we're ready to start, ladies and gentlemen. I think this will be a very exciting bout. There they go. Look at that. It was a double takedown. Let's have a takedown. Voice is up. And now he's trying to put the person between his guards. There goes that kick to the back. He's got his left leg trying to prevent West from getting his left leg over. And now West has
Tapped him.
Boy, actually got him in a choke.
Did y'all see where he tapped him at?
He tapped 4 times. No, that was a tap. I saw it 4 times.
That boy Royce Gracie was a beast, you hear me?
But that didn't last long.
He hit him with a rear neck choke, man.
What happened? I don't know. What happened was from the back, I saw Ken tap 4 times. Royce had him on a cross-side mount and had the arm underneath his neck, and I couldn't see it from the back too well, but he basically choked him out, Bill. Oh, yeah. Wow, fantastic. It's so hard to see sometimes, but that's the power.
I saw it.
Listen, good sportsmanship going on here. They're shaking hands and giving each other a hug. That's great.
That's wonderful. The referee didn't see it happen so fast.
And that's the night. Look, he got him right there, rear neck choke.
Watch Ken's left hand.
Right there, tapping. You see the rear neck choke?
And
Got him.
Royce has his left hand over Ken's neck, and that's why he was tapping. And there's another view of it.
See it right there? He put the hooks in right there.
One of the fundamental strategies of racing jiu-jitsu.
That was the worst thing that Shamrock did, was give him his back.
Japanese, it's Dr. Jimmy from here. The hand, is right at the end of the wrist.
Right? And that's when the Degrassi legacy was born right there. Now see me, right? I was trained in jiu-jitsu under his little brother, Relson Gracie, right? Relson used to have a jiu-jitsu dojo up here on Cleveland and Schrock Road. It was called Little Sharks Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Relson Degrassi, man. You hear me? That's who I had the privilege of learning jiu-jitsu from when I was a young boy. You hear me? So if any of you niggas think it's a fucking game, right? Lock your little ass the fuck up. You hear me? That's what. Hold on, let me just say this too before I get into it, man. A lot of you internet niggas is hoes, man. A lot of you niggas can't fucking fight. And y'all be talking big shit. Like y'all can back up the shit y'all be talking on here, man. Now, I'm not a tough guy at all, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can fight, you can whoop a nigga like me. Maybe. You hear me? But if you ain't been through the same type of stuff I've been through, 9 times out of 10, you ain't. And you know what I'm saying? I say that to say that I really think, and this is what they want too. This is why I'm having this conversation with y'all too, because y'all see how this is why I had it from the Coliseum to the Octagon. You feel me? Because what they trying to do is they trying to get us to violently radicalize ourselves. All this back and forth, I'll pull up, blah, 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 blah. The internet, specifically YouTube, is the current day Octagon, the current day Coliseum. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to understand how this plays into my theme or what I talk about when I talk about the Ouroboros agenda. We are being made to consume ourselves. We get excitement, pleasure out of each other's misery or perceived misery and or pain, especially physical pain. And I want y'all to understand how we are being drawn in emotionally when we are shown this type of imagery. Violence. We're being violently radicalized. When you see violence being done on such a huge scale, and then you see violence being done on a huge scale for profit, UFC, NFL, boxing, internet fuckery, you know, internet beef with so-called celebrities and influencers. I want y'all to understand that this is the present day Coliseum, right? You need now that was the first, that was the fight that made that was UFC 1, right? And that not only was that the first UFC fight on that scale, but it also was the beginning of the Degrassi legacy. Now, if anybody know anything about mixed martial arts, y'all know the Degrassi family has basically revolutionized, popularized jiu-jitsu, specifically Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? And one of the dopest movies I think ever came out, man, right, was this movie right here, man.
I think it's
Yeah, this movie came out in 08.
Everybody's not coming to this fight. Pay-per-view's pulling back on the promotion. We're not selling tickets. We have a deal or we don't have a deal. We need a gimmick. What good's the deal if nobody's making any money? Time up. Think he has a handicap? No. The other guy has a handicap if he cannot control himself. Breathe. You know the escape. Breathe. There's always an escape.
Your check bounced.
My check?
The martial arts flight. I can't make the rent. You have no cash.
There's one rule. Put the other guy down. Just calm down. Man, I know you calm down. Just wanna have a drink. Why'd you come out alone? You looking for trouble? Catherine, bad boy jumped on the movie star. What about you? Nobody knows who I am. The man distracted is the man defeated. It's an invitation from Chef Frank. You train people to fight. I train people to prevail.
Tell them your training method.
The fight is before a fight.
3 marbles.
Each fighter has a 2 and 3 odds of choosing the white marble. White marble's a pass. What if he picks the black marble? Black marble's a handicap. Who imposes the terms of the battle will impose the terms of the peace.
Fighter will take a marble. Should he pick a white marble, he'll be given a pass.
Draw the black marble. You're either going to have one arm tied to your body or potentially both arms tied to your body. You stole my idea.
You can't copyright an idea.
He has a document of his training regime that he's used for many years.
You want to make some money? Fight on the undercard. It's worth $250,000.
Competition is weakening.
What about the fighter's family? What do they eat?
The fight is fixed. We pick who gets the white marble. Who gets the pass tonight? You.
I'm ending the charade.
Mr. Flair, I'm ready to talk to you. You think you're going to the ring? Like you're going nowhere, Mike. You're going nowhere.
There is no situation you cannot escape. You know the escape.
Y'all seen that movie Red Belt with my man Chiwetel Ejiofor in it? I didn't know Chiwetel. I didn't know that he knew anything about. I didn't know he was a practitioner, man. I think that's the best movie Chiwetel ever played in, for real, for real. Right? Yeah, he went up against my man Mikado, man. You did. Reddy Couture played in that movie. You did. Tap in, walk with us, y'all. Hold on, I always be forgetting to do this too. Yeah, man. You feel me? Now, how many of y'all remember that movie Red Belt? How many of y'all seen that movie Red Belt? Lance Parker in the building. What it do, man? My brother Lance Parker sliding through, man, showing his presence, man. That's what's up, man. How many of y'all seen that movie Red Belt? Right? Right. My man Israel Adesanya, that's his name, man. I always be having trouble pronouncing the brother's last name. Right. Now Israel might be the best all around fighter since my man Anderson Silva, man. You know what I'm talking about? He got that warrior spirit, man. I'm talking about when I watch Israel and Adesanya fight, I see the true warrior spirit, man. You hear me? He's a showman too, man. he like the Floyd Mayweather of the UFC. Big dude's ass.
Israel Adesanya savagely trolled.
I'm telling you, this boy Israel Adesanya, man, he's something different, man. You feel me? I like his charisma too, man. You feel me? My man Israel Adesanya, man. That nigga's he remind me of Floyd so much, man. You feel me?
Let's call a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 21 seconds of round number 2. Declare your winner by Shush, listen up. I want to say something. People, Earth, I'm going to say something. Listen to me. I hope every one of you behind the screen or in this arena can feel this level of happiness just one time in your life. I hope all of you can feel how happy I am just one time in your life. Well, guess what? You will never feel this level of happiness if you don't go for something in your own life. When they knock you down, when they try to kill you, when they talk about you, and they try to put their foot on your neck. If you stay down, you will never ever get that resolve. Fortify your mind and feel this level of happiness as you rise. One time in your life, but I'm blessed to be able to feel this again and again and again and again and again. Israel, out of all the things
I gotta give it to the nigga Israel, man.
to be the sweetest, bro. They said the heck is sweet. And if you know me,
I gotta give it to the boy Israel, man. He's the best all around fighter I've seen in the UFC since Anderson Silva came in there, man. You hear me? You know what I'm talking about? I consider Israel to be the Floyd Mayweather of UFC. You feel me? That's just my personal opinion. But now, right? Now, bread and circuses. This stuff spills out to more than just combat sports. You feel me? The Coliseum is also being spread to other areas, especially on the internet. And this falls into when I be talking to y'all about HR 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorist Prevention Act. You understand what I'm saying? And, this whole bread and circuses thing is a huge aspect and a huge part of what all of that is, right? Now think about it now, right? Think about what's going on right now. Shout out to my brother Red Supreme TV1, man, for, you know what I'm saying, basically for putting a highlight on this, man. Because I want y'all to understand how all this stuff going on the internet, especially on YouTube. The YouTube is the new digital Coliseum. You can literally come on YouTube and get your daily fix of victimhood and violence. You know what I'm talking about? And one of the reasons why I want to have this show tonight and to shine a little bit more light on it is how I keep telling y'all how they're trying to start a race war, right? And I want y'all to also be able to see how this is contributing to us consuming ourselves. Now, granted, you know, we all different in our own aspects, man. This is true. We all have our differences and we all are different in our special, unique ways. But at the end of the day, we all human, y'all. At the end of the day, we are all human. And the same things that affect me affect y'all. Now, they affect us in different ways. That's no doubt. But affect us nonetheless. You hear me? And this whole thing going on, especially out here in California, with the things between the blacks and the Mexicans, man, this is something that's been in the work for a long time. And this is also a part of the Ouroboros agenda, right? And I want y'all to be able to sit up here and realize and see how this is all leading and contributing to us consuming ourselves, right? Consuming ourselves with hate, consuming ourselves with division and separation and huge, huge disdain and hatred for each other, right? And this is contributing to us consuming ourselves. And what do I mean by consuming ourselves? I mean by we are literally butchering each other. And now it's being done for sport. It's being made a mockery of us, even being prophetized and being, you know, it's being marketed. It's being promoted, marketed, and sold to us, packaged. We all got our special, unique versions of fuckery and violence that we can purchase, literally purchase, to get our daily fix, right? And I want y'all to understand that how this stuff, all of this stuff, man, is leading and is all a part, is leading up to, and is a part of HR 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorist Prevention Act. Now, from the Coliseum to the Octagon, right, we have seen the strategic, diabolical and strategic organization of violence, right? Organized, controlled violence being marketed, sold to us as entertainment, right? And I always say, cui bono, who benefits? Who benefits from organized, legalized, marketed, promoted, made into a business, organized violence? Who benefits from that? Now, you could sit up here and say, well, you know, young boys could grow up to be boxers or UFC fighters, or you could grow up to go into the NFL or the NBA or whatever, but who profits from that? Who really benefits from that, for real, for real? You can say that athletes do to an extent, and they do. But after years of wear and tear on your body, do you really benefit? Because all that money you spent or all the money you made, if you was fortunate enough to make millions of dollars, you're going to be spending all that on just trying to make sure your body is right when you get older. Look at all these older athletes who played in the NFL and the NBA for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Their bodies are beat to shit. You feel me? Look at these NFC, or should I say UFC fighters. Most UFC fighters don't make a lot of money, especially if they're not marketable, if they're not brandable, like how Israel is. You hear me? Most of these guys be putting their life on the line, getting in that octagon, and don't even be having no money for real. Just like boxing. You know, if you're not marketable, you know, you can have all the skills in the world. If you're not marketable, you ain't gonna make no money. And when you go to the UFC, you got to sign contracts. They don't sign fighters just because they good fighters. They've signed fighters who can sell tickets and fill arenas, right? It's all for profit. It's all for money. We're being, our energy, like I say, we're being made to consume ourselves. We're being made to consume each other. This is another aspect of the Ouroboros agenda. You dig? Now, we got the current situation going on the internet, right? This is another aspect of the bread and circuses. With all the beefs, with all the young boys on YouTube, right? We got all these young boys who done lost their lives as a result of bread and circuses, right? See, it's all entertainment and fun on the surface until people start losing their lives, right? Right? Like, God damn, man. Stuff is crazy, man. Man, shout out to this brother right here, because I just seen this, man. You feel me? Shout out to this brother, man. Cut to the chase, man. Like all these young boys, man. Man, so many young brothers just gone, man. And this stuff is being made. This stuff is being profit. They making money off of this stuff, man. Look at this, man. This stuff is disgusting, man.
Hey, what up, though? Gone are the days when cameras were avoided during violence or when committing crimes. These days, guns are seen everywhere on cameras and with sounds of gunshots serving as background sounds for live videos. In the streets, as I said before, good luck. Indian Red Boy was shot and killed in his car.
Bread and circuses, y'all, man. Shout out to this brother right here. Let me get his name real quick. Trap Plug. Shout out to this brother, man. You know what I mean?
While he was live on Instagram. The video is currently everywhere on the internet while showing Indian Red Boy talking to a friend on Instagram Live and then getting shot while still live on Instagram. Indian Red Boy died at the scene. He was on the 14,100 block of Shadron Avenue, and before the police could get there, the deed had been done, and he could not be saved. He was reportedly fatally shot, like the main aim was to shoot him dead there, and that's what happened. According to the report, it looks like a walk-up shooting in which Red Boy was the target. And of course, even from the video, you can agree to that because Indian Red Boy was sitting in his car, alone. Not like he was amid a hassle when he was shot. The police said it appears Indian Red Boy was a gang member, judging by the way he was killed. Since it's not the first time such would happen to a rapper and gang members, so it's quite reasonable. But apart from being a gang member, there's another thing that's probably the cause of that hit. Indian Red Boy had disrespected or vandalized the mural of Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey was fatally shot back in 2019. There was a mural of him that Indian Red Boy has been said to disrespect. A video of Nipsey Hussle's mural being defaced was seen on IG when an unknown man was saying that there was going to be repercussions for defacing that mural. In that same video, Indian Red Boy was among other blood members where they were flashing gang signs and mocking Nipsey Hussle. You know what it is about the streets. Always respect the response for your actions. Whatever you do sends signals, either good or bad. And if it's bad, the next thing is to be careful of your location and how you share it. On the streets, if you ain't looking for anyone, some people might be looking for you. Probably Capone, who was on the phone with Indian Red Boy, would have learned something from that, and always apply it in the future Instagram live videos, as it happened virtually in front of him. Well, that's what we know. There's probably an undergoing beef between a group and another that would have caused that death. Next is, Spider D is a type of rapper that interacts well with his fans on social media. In the incident of his shooting, he was live on IG talking to his fans about releasing a new single and stating the date it was to be released. During the conversation, Spider D bragged about not wearing a bulletproof vest and told fans that he's good on the streets without wearing a bulletproof vest. It was as if someone got annoyed by what he said because before he could finish the takes, the unexpected happened. Before Spider could end his conversation, he saw something he found suspicious. God knows what. He yelled at his friends, right here, and then shots rang out. Fortunately for Spider D and his friends, they left the scene unscathed, probably because they weren't caught lacking, as they appeared to draw their weapons in self-defense. Who goes on the streets bragging about being safe, walking without a bulletproof vest? Well, Spider did, and I respect that boldness of his. Thankfully, the story is not the other way around. Well, if you think that was crazy, then you don't know about the next rapper's story. You must have seen many artists flashing their guns for the camera for the sake of music videos or just to display their gangster persona. But Snapdog seemed to have shot for real on a live video. You can see Snapdog in the video angling the camera up to his face while he interacted with off-screen individuals before shooting a few rounds. Who it is? Who it is? This bitch gonna get blue. A whole lot of gang shit, nigga. We ain't gonna play with nobody out here. Were the words of Snap. Then one of the unknown individuals asked who Snap was, to which he responded, "Nigga, I'm Snap. What's happening, nigga?" At this point, he lifted a gun towards the other people and fired a few rounds. The video clip ended abruptly as the camera was left alone while the sounds of gunshots were heard and people were still commenting on the video. It's just normal for anyone to be concerned about
Uncle Diggity.
after that video, and the fact that it ended the way it did makes it a little bit scary. So people hit him up in concern, which led him to film another video. And in the video, he said, "Y'all know I do some crazy ass skits, movies, videos, movie scenes, and my music videos. Y'all know me. I'm a real street nigga, you feel me? And I'm not stupid to be doing some dumb shit like that on live. That was for a video." From his new video, he claimed that all that we saw in his live video was staged, that none was real. But I think if it was real, the video should not end like that without letting your fans know about what you're doing. Because he's done some similar shit before.
I've never heard of any of these guys.
The car and firing guns. But we can understand because the video caught a cameraman filming it. That's my thought. What do you think? Yeah, let's talk about it in the comment section. All right, straight to the next. Honeycomb Brazy is a rapper well known for his street activities than his music. He spent time behind bars and also been shot several times. This time he was shot live on IG. Honeycomb had gone to purchase a Kobe Bryant jersey and he was live on Instagram showing it off to his friends. You know, these days, celebrities, especially rappers, bring in all that they do to us on social media. So Honeycomb was showing his new Lakers jersey in his car when shots were fired at him. You can see the screen go blank, but still hear shots in the background. After a while, Honeycomb released another video to clarify the situation. While he was sitting in his car doing his video, a car that had already passed him stopped, and unidentified people from the vehicle started to shoot at him with his friends. They were seen reaching for the guns in the back seat and fired back at the ops. They were not caught lacking, which made their ops flee. Luckily, Honeycomb and his crew were safe with no injury that day.
OT, what it do, man?
Known for a series of beef, and because some of his deeds, he's become a target for ops. Recently, he mourned the deaths of his grandparents who were found dead after a house fire in their home in Alabama. According to a witness, Honeycomb's grandparents were fatally shot before their house was set ablaze with their bodies in it. Following the news, Honeycomb took to Instagram to mourn his grandparents in a tribute that insinuates that they died as a result of his tensions with others. He wrote, "Long live Grandma and Grandpa. Y'all was my heart for real. I put y'all in every song. I hate y'all got caught up in my shit. SMH. This shit hurt, man. I beg y'all to let me move y'all every day. But y'all taught me how to be a stand-up guy. Y'all always told me if it's our time, it's our time. God got us." We can't be sure what caused their death.
Come on, man.
Cone put on his Instagram, it seems he knows the source of the death. We can't argue with him as he alone knows what he has done.
Any of y'all heard of this dude before, Honeycomb Brazy?
That's the thing about the lives of gangsters. They might escape death, but what about their loved ones? That's it on the rappers that shot and were shot on IG Live. Feel free to let me know what you think about these stories in the comment section. If you
The only dude I heard was the Indian Red Boy.
let me know that you enjoy.
I ain't never heard of none of them other dudes, man. Right? Bread and circuses. Now, notice these is the type of guys that these dudes be having millions of views on YouTube, man. We're being made to consume each other. Right? Being made to consume each other. Right? Oh yeah. I've never even heard of dude. Oh gee, I've never heard of Honeycomb Brazy, man. Honeycomb, he from Chicago? Man. Right? This stuff is sad, man. You hear me? Chicago, man, I pray for y'all, man. You hear me? I pray for y'all, man. So sad, man. And y'all young boys out there, man. I said cool this morning, said from Alabama. Right? This stuff is sad, man. This stuff is sad, man.
In 2013, we are now in 2000. What's up, man?
Shout out to the homie Cut to the Chase, man. You hear me? Shout out to the homie Cut to the Chase. Y'all heard about this? This is another aspect, y'all. We being made to consume ourselves, man. And our young boys are perpetuating this stuff, man. From the Coliseum to the Octagon. Now we on YouTube, man. Bread and circuses. Are you not entertained?
This your boy Cut to the Chase TV. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to share this video. I got some news for you Negroes today. Atlanta rapper Triple Up KO was shot and killed at a nightclub, and now everybody's speculating about the reason why. Some people are saying he was a well-known hitter in Atlanta. Some people saying he ran the streets. And you even got some people saying, oh, yeah, it's that get back for him shooting 21 Savage 6 times in 2013 and killing his best friend. And like, hold on, wait a minute. That is 10 years ago. That happened in 2013. We are now in 2023. So I can't look at a man losing his life and say, oh, yeah, it's that get back for what happened 10 years ago. But it does tell me one thing. If he was connected to 21 Savage getting shot 6 times, then that does mean he's in the streets. And I'm going to say this. If you're in the streets, you got enemies. You got some people that don't like you. Why the hell is you at a nightclub? Why are you at a nightclub where people that don't got no damn sense function at? And plus, you at a nightclub where women be dancing. You got alcohol, all the ballers there, a lot of egos in one spot. That ain't somewhere I want to be. Now, I agree. The concept of a nightclub sounds good. You pull up to establishment, you get your hot wings, you order you some liquor, women dancing, you throwing money. They making it pop more, you throw more money. So it sounds good, the concept of going to a club, in theory. But nothing never happens good at a nightclub. You can die a many array ways. You can step on somebody's foot.
Man.
You can bump into somebody. You can holler at somebody's girl. You can park too close to somebody's car. You can hit their car on accident. A lot of things will make somebody up to strap on you at a nightclub. So that's why I don't go. I would love to spend my Friday night inside of a nightclub watching women shake it. I would love to order my hot wings, take my money out the ATM, throw my little $200. That's all I'm doing. I would love to do that, but I can't because I am scared. Because I know one false move, my life can end. I can holler at somebody, girl, that nigga mad at me. He want to pop the trunk. I ain't got time for that. So I'm looking at Triple Up KO. Everybody saying you a street figure. Everybody saying you're a beloved figure in Atlanta. You got exotic cars. You a baller. Why go to a nightclub? And why are you flexing on IG? I went to your IG page. Every picture you showing off that white Corvette. I get you got money, but you also got enemies. You also show what type of car you drive. So all they got to say, he's in Atlanta, he frequent with these spots. If you see that white Corvette, we gonna leave it up. And it seemed like that what happened. I think it was an internal beef. I think he was targeted because they say he was sitting in his car. A man walked up and started firing in his car. He drove away. He died a block away in front of the gas station. So that's pretty insane. That's pretty intense. You get shot multiple times. You hop the car in reverse, you drive to the gas station, and that's where you pass away. Let's get to that news clip. Let's go.
Morning, police are trying to find out who shot and killed a man in a club parking lot. Let's take you out to DeKalb County, where police tell us a little after 11, the victim was sitting in his car in the parking lot of Club Blaze.
Y'all hear Tom? They say a little bit after 11. That's his problem right there. Why are you out after 11 o'clock? I got a rule. If I'm going to go out, I'm one of those 5 p.m. type niggas. You want to see cut out, you invite me to go somewhere, it needs to be between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m.
Flat out.
p.m. I'm trying to be back home in the bed. I'm that point in my life. I ain't trying to be out at 12 a.m., 11 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. where all the knuckleheads, all the hood rats out, and everybody's looking for the problems. See, I go to the club, I'm in a great mood. I want to dance, I want to let loose, I want to hit the dance floor, hit my 2-step dance with multiple women. But it seems like these other dudes come to the strip club, they already mad. You look at them wrong, they mad. You buy a woman, they like a drink, they mad. You step on his shoe, he mad. You bump into him, he mad. So I'm not trying to deal with none of that. So why is this dude was at in the nightclub at 11 p.m.? That's way too late for me. You in your 30, you should have been out at that nightclub around 9 p.m. I'm just being real with you niggas on that. But let's continue.
That's when they say the suspect walked up to him and shot him. The victim drove to the Shell gas station on Moreland and Cedar Grove Drive, where he died. So far, police are not yet releasing the victim's identity.
See, he's sitting outside of a club in his car.
Oh, man, that's crazy, man.
He drives like down from the gas station. And this dude's going to get caught. We're going to find out exactly who did it and exactly what for. But I'm not going to sit there and say it's because of 21 Savage. I'm not going to sit there and say 21 Savage got get back. Like I seen some people say, I don't think this has anything to do with 21 Savage. Because I'm going about the street politics. If you do something to somebody in the streets and they don't get no get back in 10 years, it's
definitely OG.
Wait a minute. Ain't nobody think about you no more.
Shout out to Cut to the Chase, man. You hear me? Now, man, right? Now, word on the street is the old dude, that was retaliation for, I guess, 21 Savage got hit up a few years ago, 10 years ago. He got hit up. I never knew this. I don't pay attention to these dudes. I didn't know 21 Savage got shot 6 times. I didn't know that. I just can't take 21 Savage serious, man. I'm sorry, man. I don't believe it, man. It's just, I'm not saying, you know. I can understand how something like that happened to you. I can understand how something like that happened to you could turn you into a savage. But I just don't see it in his. I've been listening, man. I've been around plenty killers, man. Plenty niggas, man. Plenty rough street niggas. And I just don't. I'm just not convinced when I see 21 Savage. I just don't see it in him. I'm sorry, man. I don't see it in him. Right?
Getting shot. Can you say where you got shot at?
Yeah, I could tell you shit like that. I got shot in my arm again, my collarbone, my neck, my hand, and my finger.
So how many times?
6.
Now, for someone that's never been shot before, what does that feel like?
It's like it's a third person feeling. Like it ain't like it's like you see it happening. It's like when you getting shot, it ain't like you feel it. It's more like you watching it happen to you. You get what I'm saying? It's like my soul came out of my body and I was watching myself get hit. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't feel it neither. You don't feel it until after, like after everything happened, whatever situation you're in, after you get shot, that's when you feel it. But you don't feel it when it penetrates. You feel me? Like you don't really feel it too much unless a bone break. See, my bone broke, so I felt it instantly. But the rest of the shots, I didn't even know I was hit.
Now, what was the recovery process like?
It was good. I mean, it was speeding. Shout out to my nigga Mojo, man. Sign yourself, man. As soon as I got to the hospital, this word to my mama, Mojo had activists sent down there for me, man. That's word to blood. I was in the hospital sipping activists. Shout out to Mojo. That's a real nigga, man. My boy Mojo, man.
Now, how long did it take for you to recover?
Probably about fully recovered about a month. But I was out of the hospital about a week and a half. But I wouldn't even say when I say 2 months, because I had a rod in my arm. I had about 3-4 surgeries, so it took a little while. But I was back up and walking and towing my gun like what that was 2 weeks after I got shot. As soon as I got out the hospital, I was back walking. You know what I'm saying? Back on the same shit.
So being shot in that area, in those areas, 6 times, was it, I guess, a non-life-threatening shot, or could there have been a chance when you say you got shot around your neck? Could there have been a chance that
I died?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the doctor told me just my blood loss alone could have killed me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm skinny as fuck. I ain't over 140, 150.
Well, I was just asking because your recovery process sounded so quick.
Yeah, I don't know. God, you know, my brother who got killed, like he sent his blessings too, you know. So it was just
All right, that's enough of that, man. So I just showed y'all that because old boy, Triple Up KO just got bodied about a week ago. Allegedly, it's in retaliation from what 21 Savage just was talking about. Right? He said he let Amber Rose slut walk him. I just don't see it, man. You know, I mean, it's unfortunate that the young brother got hit up the way he did. He's still alive. But when I look at 21 Savage, I just don't see it. I don't see street nigga in him at all. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? And that's not to say anything about it, you know, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably think about that the same thing about me. You feel me? So it ain't nothing like that, you know? You know, I'm just saying, you know, y'all young boys, man, these young boys out here, man. Y'all young boys out here playing with y'all's lives like it's just like it's a game. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that contribute, you understand? It's a lot of things that contribute to this level of violence, man. And you know what I mean? One of them is this. This is one of the things that contributes to it, man.
Some people train longer, dream bigger, and above all, they fight harder. Visual on target. That's how you get it done.
I know about KD being used in the game, man. I think that's funny as hell. All right. These video games, man. These video games is making these kids violent, man. Right? It's indoctrinating these kids into, you know what I'm saying, looking at life as if it's nothing. It's totally devaluing and devoiding them of empathy, right? I mean, they got way, you can sit on here and watch these people play these games, right? But this is what I'm saying, though, man. This is another contribution to why things are so violent. Right?
I'm going to show you guys the key to have aim like mine.
This is why I'm not playing Modern Warfare 2. Enemy control. Securing objective.
Okay. That's one of the major reasons why people are so damn violent, right? All these little kids playing these damn video games, making them violent, right? All these damn video games, man, making y'all violent as hell, right? Man, bread and circuses, man. I keep telling y'all, man. And I want y'all to understand how I want y'all to understand how all of this stuff is contributing, you hear me, to the moral decay of our society, man, right? And it's being done for a specific reason. They want us to be violently radicalized through ideologically based violence in order to turn us into homegrown terrorists, right? Now, all this stuff we can see on the internet, all this stuff we got available to us at our fingertips. I want y'all to understand that this stuff is intentionally being allowed for us to be consuming it in order to mind fuck us into violently radicalizing ourselves through ideologically based violence or Ouroboros agenda. We're consuming ourselves. I want y'all to understand that when a young boy in Chicago, New York, anywhere down south, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, wherever, Louisiana, Texas, wherever, California, Florida, wherever, when they go on a drill, when they go slide on the ops, that is us consuming ourselves. And I want y'all to understand how all of this violence since ancient times to present times, from the Colosseum to the Octagon, right? And everything in between, sometimes some things even jumping ahead of that, right, is being done intentionally, on purpose. Is being done or allowed so we can violently radicalize ourselves and each other through ideologically based violence, right? Case in point, right? So much stuff, man. Now this whole situation right here, and I'm glad my brother's speaking on this, man, because this situation has the potential to spill over into some bullshit, man.
But you know, I don't know who this nigga, the American knows, wherever this nigga is, but dude from the heart, you know, we don't get along, right? Hey, bro, our friends don't even get along. But I hope you understand, I don't have a problem going back to the kitchen. So if he comes, I dare him to pull up on me 100 deep. On Paul Road. Pull up at my spot. You know how this body is. Pull up on my spot 100 deep. I dare you. Gunshot by anonymity. Niggas fight by enemies. Falling out of smoke like a chimney. Gotta stay above that energy.
Oh man. All y'all internet thugs, man. And I'm from Ohio, man. You feel me? I just want to speak on. I'm from Ohio, man. And, don't get it twisted, man. We got a heavy Mexican population in Ohio, all over. You hear me? But you know, their presence ain't dominating or domineering like it is out there in California, right? Now, they ain't got no juice out here in our prison system. I'm gonna just let y'all know that right now. Mexicans ain't got no juice in the prison system out here in Ohio. We do got some pockets of Brown Brothers. You know, we got some, you know, pockets of whoever, but them niggas ain't running shit. You feel me? But what I can and will say is that they do definitely link up and interact and be real super tight with the white boys for some reason. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't. You feel me? I mean, I do, but I don't, but I do. But they don't run shit out here. All that weak ass West Coast prison politics, that shit ain't flying out here in Ohio. You motherfucking Latino Mexican niggas get y'all's issue if y'all tried that shit out here. And I'm not saying that to spark anything. I'm just saying it what it is because my experience. Mexican, Latino niggas don't run shit in Ohio prison system. Niggas have no juice out here. No weight, no nothing. You hear me? And I say that to say, and it's a reason for that. It's because they just don't have a presence out here like that, like how they do in California. Their influence ain't like that out here because their numbers ain't like that out here. It's not more of them than it is of us, but it's slowly starting to be a different way from what I'm told from people who I'm still in contact with who still locked up, right? Now, this whole situation with Whack 100 and this American Cholo dude, man, you know, like I say, shout out to my brother Red, man, for covering this because it's important, man, because, you know what I'm saying, we got to realize when things are being done with a certain intent and with a certain agenda. And this whole situation right here, starting in California but spreading across the country as we see, this whole thing right here with this fake ass inciting of a black and brown race war, right? That's part of the Ouroboros agenda. That's part of us consuming ourselves, right? Mr. O with the info, my Joe from Chicago. What it do, man? What happened, man? Right? And I want y'all to see how this fits in to from the Coliseum to the Octagon, right? And everything in between. From the Coliseum to the Octagon, right? From the penitentiary to the streets. You hear me? Right, you right, Lance Parker. Ain't no black and brown coalition. There never has been. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to get into this part of the show, right? We still got some time to go too. It's just not reaching 9 o'clock. We're gonna go to about 9:30, right? This is the part of the show that I wanted to really get to because, you know, this aspect of this what's going on right now between so-called black and brown beef and all of that. How long have I been telling y'all that one of the main tenets, one of the main agendas within the Ouroboros agenda is something I've been telling y'all about for a long time too, is they want to start a race war, right? Now, tap in and walk with me and peep game if y'all would, right? They try to start the race war between black people and white people. But that shit didn't work. Black people and white people are getting along now more than ever in human history, especially in American history, right? And so when the incitation of a race war between black people and white people hasn't worked, and let me tell y'all why it hasn't worked. All these police shootings, all these white cops shooting black people, male and female, hasn't started or incited a race riot like how the powers that be intended. For lots of reasons too, though. One of the major reasons why is because people like myself have done research into these so-called police shootings, and we've done dissected them and we done broke them apart for the mind-fucking psyops that they are. Sandra Bland, Oscar Grant, Mike Brown, George fucking Floyd, Tyree King, all of these shootings, Trayvon Martin, all of these shootings, when we have looked into them, investigated, broke them down, we can see that they all have been fuckery, psyops. Tracy Martin, Trayvon Martin's George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Sandra Bland, Mike Brown. When we look into these shootings and investigate them, They all were fucking mind fucking psyops, intentionally done to incite a race riot or a race riot, right? While at the same time getting rid of assets that fall into this whole grand scheme of things. Rest in the essence to all them people, Breonna Taylor. Y'all think that was an accident, man? Y'all think that Breonna Taylor was innocent in that? How many of y'all know that Breonna Taylor was a big time drug dealer? So-called trap queen. She was a member of the woke church. Man, listen, y'all, man. A lot of y'all are not ready to really look into these things, man. So, like, I say all that to say that inciting a race war between white and black people hasn't worked. I know y'all know. We know, you know us over here. You know us real ones over here. We know. We do our due diligence. We do our research over here. But the overwhelmingly mass majority of us do not. How you get hit up 10 times from behind and the shots are coming towards you, you get shot 4 times from behind, that just doesn't make sense. George Floyd was 6'6". How did they fit his 6'6" frame in a casket made for a man that was 6 feet tall? I don't know. Mike Brown out of Baltimore was a big time drug dealer. He had the Baltimore Police Department on the take. Sandra Bland. Another topic for another day, y'all. I'm just saying all of this stuff. Inciting a race war amongst black and white people hasn't worked. All these false flag, all of these mind fucking psyops made to happen shootings of white cops or of black people by white cops hasn't worked. George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Tyree King, right here in my city, Casey Goodson Jr., Sandra Bland, Mike Brown, Oscar Grant, Trayvon Martin. The list can just keep going on and on and on. It hasn't worked. I'm glad you pointed that out, Lance Parker. I tell y'all that all the time. There's more white people, right? There's more white people than there is black people, right? Yeah, Laquan McDonald, there's more white people than there are black people. So naturally, due to the numbers, more white people come in contact with white cops than black people do. More white people, white men get shot by white cops than black people do, simply because there's more. See, this stuff don't get reported because it don't fit the agenda. So now that we've been shown and proven that the incitation of race war amongst black and white people, that shit ain't working. It's not working. So what's the next best thing? Start a fake ass race war between brown people, Mexican, Latino people, and black people. It's a so-called fake-ass coalition of fake-ass black-brown unity that never has existed, doesn't exist to this day. I don't see it anywhere. right? You right, OG. Every time it's mentioned in the media, it gets downplayed. So that lets you know one thing: what? It's not working. So now that the powers that be realize that trying to incite a race war amongst and between black people and white people, that shit ain't working. They had to go to the black people and brown people, right? Especially with the history of the beef, if you would, differences, if you would, between black and brown people via the penitentiary system. And out here in California, right, the black and brown situation is basically the same as it is everywhere else, except it's a little bit more intense because the Latino, brown, Mexican, whatever population is significantly larger than it is in areas like, say, where I'm from, right? Although we're starting to see that those numbers are starting to change out here in this region, right? Right before I left, what I started noticing was that there's a lot of Latinos, not even just Mexicans, people from Guatemala, Honduras, Colombia, it's all over Central and South America are locked up. I was locked up with people from El Salvador, people from Guatemala, people from Ecuador, people from Peru. I was locked up with some Peruvian cats, Dominican cats, Puerto Rican cats, Mexican cats, Bolivian cats. I was locked up with, and all of them dudes, they don't all get together. They don't all get along, but when it comes to La Raza, right, they put all that other shit to the side. That's one thing I can say, right? But once they realized that the race war between black and white wasn't working, they want to incite now, the target and the aim is to incite a race war between black and brown. It's so obvious. It's so blatant, man.
So we're going to replay some of this guy's videos he did yesterday, because he's got a new staff out there. You know what Adam does is he goes out and hires he says stuff about not wanting to deal with gang members. That's exactly what he does. He goes out and hires gang members to back his play that don't really know what time it is as far as what's going on between the platforms. And as far as I knew, this was a dead issue. And with everybody else, it's definitely a dead issue. Yep. With Adam 22, no, we're going to run it right now. Let's go ahead and hit that reaction video, Chris. We're going to replay some.
Right. This stuff can get ugly, man. You hear me? This stuff can get very ugly, man. Has the potential to get very ugly.
YouTube, Clubhouse TV back with another clip. And this one, man, we got Whack 100, man. He just too cold, man. He done went to American Cholo. YouTube.
Hold on, I gotta see this, man. Hey, Whack 100, man. Hey, man, I gotta kill up for this, man. Whack 100, bro. Now, this is what I'm gonna say about this, and this is all from the octagon, from the Coliseum to the octagon, y'all. Whack 100 was out of line for doing what he did, man. Right? Flat out, man. I mean, you could sit up here and say, and I agree with this to this extent, though. He allegedly went dolo by himself, allegedly, right? Dolly. Red. This nigga Red stupid, man. Red said American Cholo, he pulled up on you dolo, man. Granted, Granted. Whack 100 pulled up to the man's house dully by himself, right? Not necessarily because, he had a camera crew with him or somebody recording, so he wasn't necessarily by himself, right? I want to see the actual footage, man. I want to see the actual footage, man. I want to see this footage, man. Because you got to be a bold ass nigga, man. You got to be a bold ass nigga, man. You hear me, man? That's some Super Bowl shit.
Hey, what's happening, Miss Nick K Count, man? This is all percentage.
I want to see the footage. Ain't nobody got that footage.
What's up with y'all? It's Top Media TV.
And I want to see that footage, man. Who got that footage, man? Where the footage at?
Wax came here at 10:30 in the morning while I'm at work and knocked on my door, and banged on my fucking ring.
So he pulled up.
Then after that didn't work. I pulled up in his place. He didn't show up, which it actually worked out good for both of us. And now he's putting some fake paperwork out there that people like The Runner and some other fucking platforms are putting out there as, oh, look, I'm not saying it's real, but here you go. Wax came here at 10:30 in the morning while I'm at work.
From the Coliseum to the Octagon, man. Right? When the race war between whites and blacks doesn't work, now we got to start a race war between the blacks and the browns. Mexicans, Latinos, really Mexicans for real. Y'all other groups of Latinos, and let me say this, though, and I'm not no rabble rouser, man. I'm a non-violent type of guy. I don't want no smoke with nobody, man. But let me tell y'all this, man. One of you internet niggas pull up to where the fuck I be at, where I'm at, or any of my people, man, listen. When you pull up to somebody's house, man, where somebody lay their head or somebody's place of business, I want y'all to know they got all rights in most states to do whatever the fuck they want to. They could really fuck you around for real, man. So all y'all internet tough dudes out there, man, you hear me? Make sure y'all do your homework on a nigga before y'all decide if y'all actually want to pull up. Now, I know the majority of you niggas ain't gonna pull up because the majority of you niggas is bitches. Right? I'm gonna say it straight like that. Majority of you niggas on this internet, y'all some bitch ass niggas. Y'all some hoes, man. Most of y'all, majority of y'all. Majority of y'all ain't never been in no funk. Majority of y'all ain't never been behind them fences where it ain't no guns at. Right? And a lot of y'all ain't never really been in no real life street shit. Because if you have, you would know that this shit ain't no game. Right? Now, Whack 100 pulling up to that man's house, that was very out of line for lots of reasons. Right? That's just a different, that's a different type of game. That's different right there. When you pull up to a man's house, that's turning it into something different. So I just want y'all to know that me being a real one, from the really been in real life street shit, and lost my life on numerous occasions almost, based off of shit like this. This ain't no game. This ain't for play. You pull up to a man's house, you better be prepared for whatever's fuck gonna happen. Cause I'm telling you right now, motherfucker pull up to my shit, it's gonna be some shit, man. It ain't no game. And I ain't a tough guy. I'm not a gangster or none of that shit. But let a motherfucker pull up to my house, my place of business. Oh, it's going to be some smoke in the motherfucking city. You hear me? Don't play about shit like that at all. I wish one of you niggas would. Right? But I don't be worried about shit like that because I know a lot of you internet niggas, most of you niggas is hoes. And this, like I said, I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a hitter. I'm not a shooter, none of that shit, right? But one thing, I'm also not is a hoe ass, bitch ass nigga. That's what I'm absolutely not. But most of you niggas are. And I know this. I can tell by the way you niggas type, you niggas is hoes, right? But for those amongst us that's really about that, those amongst us who really live that, we ain't out here trying to, be on no rah-rah tough guy shit. Niggas who really been out here and really seen this shit, niggas trying to avoid that type shit at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Niggas come on the internet to try to link up with like minds and create some greatness, man. We ain't on here trying to beat. So when I talk to y'all about rabble rousers, agent provocateurs, I'm talking about niggas like these niggas right here, Whack 100, goddamn it, American Cholo, and all the rest of their ilk. Most of them are rabble rousers. Most of them are agent provocateurs, unwitting agent provocateurs at that, right? You hear me, Uncle Diggity? Real ones who done been out here in these streets and lived through this shit for real and survived it. We ain't out here, that's what I'm saying. I don't know none of these dudes personally. You hear me? I don't get into the finding out. I don't care about any of that shit. I don't know Whack 100 from a can of paint. I don't know nothing about no work he didn't put in, his hood, where I don't know nothing about none of that shit. And so I ain't gonna speak on that. I'm not gonna say or speak on him not being a real, I don't know nothing about that shit, but I do know this, is being a street motherfucker from the streets. You don't pull up to no man's house, man, unless you ready for that action, right? Unless you ready for that one type action. And American Cholo, the fact that this man pulled up to your house numerous times by himself, disrespectful and out of line as that is, pulling up to a man's house, I gotta say he respectfully pulled up disrespectfully. He ain't have 100,000 Damus with him. He ain't have 100,000 Parus with him. He cut up dolly by himself. American Cholo, man, you got some explaining to do, man. You got actual footage of this man at your house. There's no footage of you pulling up to his studio, according to Whack 100, 0.3 miles away. That's walking distance, bruh. That mean you could have pulled a walk up. I'm not inciting or promoting that you do that. I don't suggest that you do that. But if you was about that action, like how you claiming to be or putting the persona that you are, it would have been a simple walk up the street, my nigga. Because I'm telling you right now, nigga, pull tight where I stay at, it ain't gonna be no games or no jokes at that point, my nigga. And I agree with you, OG. Way too old for that shit. But this is a part of the Ouroboros agenda, consuming each other. This is why I call these niggas agent provocateurs, man. This is why I call these niggas rabble rousers, right? Who's funding these niggas, man? That's the question. Follow the money. Who's funding American Cholo? Who's funding Whack 100? It's a machine behind Whack 100. I don't know about American Cholo, but it's definitely a machine behind Whack 100. He's plugged in. They're trying to make Whack 100 out to be the 2023 Suge Knight. Right? I respect Whack 100 business acumen. I respect his hustle, his grind. I respect that. But his antics as a man, I can't respect that. He's a certified rabble rouser. And him having the industry connections that he has lets me know that he's being paid to do what he's doing. He's being paid to be a rabble rouser, to cause division, to cause corruption, destruction, separation, division, right? Whack 100 ain't putting nobody up on no game on how to get some money, start a business. Whack 100 ain't sitting up here talking to these young brothers, telling them, nah, don't go this route. Whack 100 ain't out here, to my knowledge, I don't know this to be true, but to my knowledge, Whack 100 ain't putting nobody in position to be great. He's not being a positive influence, role model for the young boys out of California, specifically where he from. He's being a rabble rouser. He's contributing to the destruction of the minds of young brothers, in my opinion. Now, I don't know about any organizations or fundraisers that I don't know nothing about it. I ain't heard about it. That don't mean it ain't happening. That don't mean it's not going on, but I haven't heard about it. Whenever I hear this dude's name, it's always in some fuckery. It ain't nothing positive attached to the brother name, ever. From the Coliseum to the Octagon. From the penitentiary to the streets. From the streets to the rap game. And now we're seeing it play out on YouTube. The Ouroboros agenda. We're consuming ourselves. Violent radicalization. Ideologically based violence. I want y'all to understand that Whack 100 pulling up to American Cholo's house, I want y'all to understand that that could be considered spreading ideologically based violence. You are influencing, enticing young people especially to pull up on their ops, pull up to a person's house. Sad. Y'all supposed to be OGs, man. Y'all supposed to be the OGs, man. Crazy. Y'all supposed to be the OGs, man. American Cholo, Whack 100. Y'all should be showing a different example, man. You know what I mean?
Well, don't get tired, sweetback. Don't get tired.
Right? The positions that these two guys are in, they should be having the two positions that y'all brothers is in, man. Y'all should be doing something different, man. And this is why I call y'all type dudes Asian provocateurs. This is why I call y'all rabble rousers.
Whack 100 pulls up to American Cholo's house, says he has paperwork on him, and he wants the fade.
We're gonna knock on his door. Knock on Clubhouse. Tell them that face even said they got paperwork on him. Special days and the best of the see you on your ring. Cholo, Whack 100, come holler at me. Face to face like a man. I'm not a rapper.
Whack 100 pulls up to American Cholo's house, says he has paperwork on it.
That's crazy, man. That is absolutely insane, man. And this is why I'm saying, this is why I call guys like American Cholo. Who's funding this guy? And when I say who's funding, I'm like, who's in his corner? YouTube is allowing this stuff to be promoted. How is it that this type of stuff, these antics, this type of content, this type of imagery gets promoted on YouTube, advertised, marketed, millions of views, and my brother Red Supreme TV1 still got to sit up here and ask you niggas to hit the like button? You hear me? A brother like me, you know what I'm saying? Right? A brother like me sitting up here kicking real shit to y'all, breaking this shit down, putting this shit together. We don't get no shine. Right? Huh? A brother like my brother, Mr. O, right? With his dope editing skills, that's almost better than mine, right? We don't get no burn, no shine. You hear me? But this fuckery gets viral. This fuckery goes viral.
Hey, don't listen, but yes, I'm a fair man. Goddamn, cuz. We're gonna call you American Custer on Neighborhood Crib. How the fuck you gonna tell Lupe, my home girl, in my King Five Fingers voice, that you're not gonna donate to help her family, her love fives? Cause she's Mexican, but she's from a black gang, cause she's a Crip. Hey, American Custer. Hey, fuck you. I respect all Southsiders, you hear me? Y'all got a solid program, but now it's fuck you, cause how you disrespect Lupe. Don't disrespect Lupe. She cares about everybody like Crip Mac. I care about everybody of all races. You gonna learn to respect the motherfucker, cuz. We not playing no games out here, man. I'm gonna let you know like that, American Cholo, or should I say American Custer, cause you disrespected Lupe, the sweetest woman in the world. Why would you do Lupe like that, cuz? That's a real homegirl. You don't know what motherfucker you fucking with. Lupe, let this motherfucker know what's going on.
Yeah, neighborhood, bro, you got me fucked up. How you gonna tell me I'm not Raza, bro? My parents, I grew up in a Mexican home. How the fuck you not gonna tell me? Cause I'm a Crip, bro. Yeah. I don't see no difference between my homies and my cousins, bro. You got me fucked up.
Yeah, you need to learn to respect that. Don't disrespect Lupe. Lupe is great people. So you're not donating. All right, cuz, you ain't gotta donate on Hustlers, but guess I'm a fair man on Neighborhood Crib. I see your love fives out there on Hustlers, but they down on Skid Row and they out, cuz. Guess what? Me and Lupe will still help them and feed them, regardless of what the fuck you say. So you need to watch it, man. You're dealing with some great people, but you're also dealing with some real Hustler Crips on Hood. Watch your motherfucking mouth and don't disrespect Lupe. Disrespecting Lupe will get you in a world of shit. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it 55th Street, American Custer. You call yourself the American Cholo. You American Custer. You ain't never ever have more play ball missions than Crip Mac has. And Tiny Hardhead FIP on Hood.
And YouTube promotes this fuckery, man. Shout out to Crip Mac, man. I respect Crip Mac because I know his heart is in the right place, man. And he's just a hood ass nigga with severe mental issues. And, even his homeboys took advantage of him. But from the Coliseum to the Octagon, right? I want y'all to understand how this stuff is being done, how this stuff is being used, right? To activate and implement HR 1955 protocols. Guys like Whack 100 and guys like American Cholo, they are agent provocateurs, witting, unwitting, right? Now, how you find out or how you discover or realize that somebody is a witting, which means they are fully aware of what they're doing, they're involved, they know what they're doing, they know why they're doing it, and they're okay with doing it. That's a witting agent provocateur. Now, an unwitting agent provocateur, which I think is, in this situation, American Cholo, and it could be argued, but like I said, I don't know who this American Cholo guy is. I haven't looked into who he is, who his people is, who he's connected to. But I've looked into Whack 100, and I know who he's connected to, which is how I know he's a witting agent provocateur. Now, American Cholo might not be the same deal, but I don't know who's funding him. I don't know who his people is. I don't know who he's connected to. So maybe he could be an unwitting, as of right now, agent provocateur, right? Another unwitting agent provocateur, Crip Mac. Crip Mac don't even realize how he's being used, right? And I keep telling y'all, shout out to, I gotta pay homage and give respect to my brothers when they say real shit. And I constantly reference these guys because these are guys that I actually watch their content. I believe, I know they content to be 100 because I lived it. And that's why I only rock with a few content creators. Rest of the essence is sinful. I fuck with my nigga Red. I fuck with Freeze. You hear me? That's about it, man. I fuck with Jack from time to time. You know, I fuck with O'Shea. I fuck with Freeze. I listen to Dre, some of Dre's stuff, but on the heavy side, I fuck with my nigga Red and Sinful, man. Now, that's not nothing against any one of you other niggas out there, though, but I'm talking about as far as for me, being the type of guy I am, a real one from the turf, I don't see too many of you niggas out here for real, man. Now, all of this Mexican, West Coast, I don't even pay attention to that stuff. I never even heard of a lot of these guys until my nigga Red was talking about. So I really don't pay attention to that stuff. It really ain't in my cipher. But it doesn't have to be for me to be able to dissect and break down what it's a part of. And that's this Ouroboros agenda. That's this from the Coliseum to the Octagon. From the penitentiary to the streets and back. Now it's to the YouTube, to the internet. Right? All of this is a part of the Ouroboros agenda y'all hear me talk about. And anybody ask me, well, Virgil, what's the Ouroboros agenda? It's the agenda to make us and influence us, impose upon us, encourage us to consume ourselves on every level. Whether it be through violence, ideologically based violence being spread on the internet. Now, y'all remember when I sit up here and broke down HR 1955 to y'all, I'd have sit up there and told y'all that one of the main things out of that is that the internet is the largest tool being used to spread ideologically based violence and homegrown terrorism and violent radicalization, is it not? We're seeing right now the Ministry of Truth being set up. We're seeing right now HR 1955 being implemented via the internet. The number 5 finding in HR 1955 is that the internet is the largest tool being used to spread ideologically based violence and violently radicalizing people. Or should I say, that's not the number, but the number 5 thing in there is they want to eradicate homegrown terrorism, ideologically based violence, and violent radicalization. And here we have guys like WAC 100 and American Cholo and all these other guys inciting all of this ideologically based violence, which is in turn violently radicalizing people.
You fuck with WAC 100? Who, what? Yeah, I've been going back for damn near 20 years. What's it called, WAC, man? That nigga WAC look like he been wipe the drying his face with sandpaper all the way. That shit, oh, that's a hard ass nigga. That nigga tied up with a big boot.
Right? I just played that just to show y'all that for every guy that's a tough guy, right? Or whatever, you feel me? And this is why I say, man, I don't know nothing about a lot of you guys, man. A lot of y'all dudes claim to be gangsters and tough guys or riders, hitters, whatever. I really don't care about none of that shit. That shit don't mean nothing to me, right? I'm out here in Ohio, man. The work you niggas put in where you from, that shit don't listen. And let me tell you niggas something too, man. And I used to tell this niggas this in the joint all the time, bro. Especially older guys too. That shit don't mean nothing. That shit only means something where you from. If you was a head buster, hitter, shot caller, rider, whatever, gangster, whatever y'all shooter, whatever y'all want to call it, right? That shit only hold weight where you from. That shit don't mean nothing to a nigga like me out here in Ohio. I don't give a fuck about no work you put in where you from. That shit don't mean nothing to me. Just like out here in Ohio, that shit don't mean nothing to no nigga no other state. The so-called work you put in where you from, that shit only means something where you from. That shit ain't, niggas ain't borrowing that shit out of state or nowhere else, man. I say that to say that if you a real one, you a real one no matter where you go. Right? Because I ain't never borrowed a nigga for who he was. I ain't never borrowed a nigga because he was known for whatever. Right? That shit don't mean nothing in the joint anyway. Not out here in Ohio anyway. Now, in California, it might be something different. But I say all that to say is that for every guy that's considered a hitter, a gangster, a OG, there's somebody who think different. That's the reason why I just played that video. There's like a lot of people who respect Whack 100, a lot of people who vouch for and respect his so-called street cred. There's some niggas out there that don't give a fuck about that nigga street cred. Not diminishing from his street cred, not taking away from whatever credibility he may have, whatever reputability he may have. It's some niggas who don't think like that. It's some niggas who don't respect that shit. It's some niggas right there from California, LA, who don't give a fuck about this nigga Whack 100 so-called gangster. Nigga. Right? Now, granted, you know, certain people who you should respect. Certain people got influence and got juice and pull. Right? But then again, so what? Right? And then I want you niggas out there to realize, man, because there's a lot of you niggas on this internet, man. I know a lot of you niggas, y'all be enticed by this shit. Y'all be excited by this shit. And y'all go to the comment sections and y'all you know what I'm saying, y'all sit up here and say the stuff y'all say and y'all egg stuff on or whatever the situation may be. And a lot of you niggas is just spectators. A lot of you niggas just want to see something. A lot of y'all niggas just, like I say all the time, a lot of y'all niggas just want to see a fight. And ain't going to motherfucking bust a grape at a fruit fight if the situation. No, what I'm saying is, stay in your lane, man. What I'm saying is, most of you niggas on this internet is hoes, right? Most of you niggas on this here YouTube, straight up bitches. You hear me? And I say that to say that if a nigga was to actually see one of y'all in real life, in real time, y'all definitely wouldn't be on none of that stuff a lot of you niggas be talking on here. But I also say that a lot of you niggas is about that action. A lot of you niggas is on that type of time. And what I'm saying is, this ain't the place for that. Right? Rather than be beefing with each other, arguing with each other, causing discord and disruption amongst each other, it would do us a huge service if we was to interact with each other, do business with each other, support each other, right? That's just my personal opinion, man. You know what I mean? So when I see people like Whack 100, who has the ability to do so much good, he's in a position to do so much positive, bring so many brothers together, but he doesn't. That lets me know he's an agent provocateur, and that makes me not have a lot of respect for him, right? This makes me say I don't give a fuck about Whack 100's gangster or his so-called work. He done put in Coin or whatever the hell he from. I don't give a damn about none of that. What does all of that even mean if this is what he using it to do? He ain't bringing no young brothers together out there in California. Ain't nobody out there joining their forces to do something great like how Nipsey was out there. Whack 100 is not using his celebrity, his pool, his reputation to bring anybody together, to cause situations to where brothers can interact with each other, do business with each other, make money, create situations for other and opportunities for other people. Whack 100 ain't doing that. And from my knowledge, neither is American Cholo. What my man Kel that boy say? He said, not gonna lie, I spectate through Red Channel, but yeah, this seemed like a fabricated beef to call tension between black and brown. Yeah, man. Listen, we all do it. I'm not pointing no finger at nobody individually. It's a certain amount of people, like I said, I don't pay attention to a lot of shit on YouTube, specifically the internet. But the stuff I tap into is the stuff I can relate to, right? I support people who I can relate to, who I know is real ones, right? But like I say, when I see people like Whack 100 come on the scene with the influence that he has, with the notoriety that he has, with the reputation and popularity that he has, he's connected to and in the industry. He doesn't use any of his ability to create positivity. I'm not saying he ain't doing it. I'm just saying I don't see it. I don't hear about no fundraisers Whack is doing. I don't hear about no organizations or fundraisers or nonprofit organization that he donates to or has started that's contributing to these young brothers doing something positive in California, LA. I don't know. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying I ain't heard nothing about it. Every time I hear this nigga Whack 100's name, it's always surrounded by some fuckery. And every time I hear this nigga talk, every time I listen in, when I do, because I don't, but when I do, when it ever is brought to my attention, somebody has sent it to me, like, damn, Verse, check this out. You hear me? And every time I see about Whack 100, he's being a rabble rouser. He's being an agent provocateur. He's inciting violence. He's being a person who exacerbates, who, he's being an instigator. He's walking up on grown men's houses, knocking on their door, talking about catching a fade. Like, I just can't respect that, man. Exactly. And, Uncle Diggity, you out there in Cali. Y'all niggas is out there in Cali, man. Y'all know better than me. What the fuck Whack 100 got? What nonprofit he got going on out there? All that influence and so-called money and popularity and notoriety he got, right? What nonprofit organization he got out there? What program he got out there for the young boys, man, to do something different? What he got going on out there? Every time I hear this nigga Whack 100 name, it's some type of beef, some type of altercation, some type of fuckery. He always talking about catching a fade or pulling up. This nigga's like 45, down there 50 years old. Same with American Cholo, man. Or any of these Mexican dudes, man. I don't hear nothing about no positive shit you niggas is doing out there. Every time I hear your name, American Cholo, it's in some fuckery. Every time I hear this dude, American Cholo, he talking about some gang shit. He talking about some what black people is doing and all this fuckery. My man Uncle Diggity said his presence is only online. He not good in the streets like folks think. I would imagine he's not, Uncle Diggity. Like, I'm a street nigga. I'm from the streets in Columbus, Ohio, man. Niggas know me. I got a lot of respect out here, man. People fuck with me. People rock with me. Somewhat, right? You know, and I'm not nothing like, I'm not a rabble rouser. I'm not a thug. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a hitter. I'm not a shooter. I'm not a killer, right? I'm just a guy. I'm just a man. You hear me? But I got a lot of respect. And I just don't see that for Whack 100, man. Especially after I saw this, bruh. I'm just saying, Whack 100, man. I don't see it, bruh. I don't believe it. I know anybody can knock a nigga out, man. I done seen big niggas get that work. I done seen big niggas get their issue, man. I done seen niggas with reputation get that issue in behind them walls, man. That's what I'm saying, man. And that's corny, man. Street cred is more important and more valuable than having peace and tranquility and equilibrium in your neighborhood and your community. That's sad. Like, when I seen this Whack, though, I gotta admit, bruh. I gotta admit, though, man, all that gangster shit I be hearing you talk, man, about, man, I don't believe it, man. I just can't believe, I cannot believe it, man. Oh, drop it.
Get out! Get out!
Oh,
get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Get in place. Get in place.
Get
Get in fucking place.
Get out there! You touch me, nigga! You tried to rush me, nigga! Get out!
Split dude, though.
Shit! Get out!
Oh, dropping. Oh, dropping. He did drop, dude, dog. I gotta give him that. I'm just not convinced, man. I ain't convinced. I'm not impressed by that. I ain't impressed by that. I'd have fucked them white boys up. You hear me? I'd have beat the fuck out of them white boys. Facts. No tough guy shit. None of that. I can fight for real. You hear me? I'd have beat the fuck out of them white boys. Them white boys would have never came at me like that. I'd have put the fear of God in them niggas. You hear me? Wish a motherfucker would, man. Right? When I seen that right there, I just like, yeah. I feel like my brother, uncle, that's a common little squabble, man. You know, nothing major. Wasn't nothing like, Whack 100, like, I'm like, wait, looking at him like, man, them white boys actually, you know, he was looking kind of scary a little bit, man. You know, now, you know what I'm saying? He hit dude. Don't get me wrong. He connected with dude, but he ain't put the fear of God in that nigga. Right? From the Coliseum to the Octagon, y'all. Right? He said that probably was his cop hoe, his clout chasing. Listen, man. When I seen this, I said, man, this is the Whack 100 nigga y'all talking about? See this white boy right here. See that white boy right there? See, look. Right? Two white boys run up on me. Right? And I done been into it with, I know, listen here, y'all. This ain't no tough guy shit. I know some thorough ass white boys, man. I know some white dudes who will fuck most of you niggas up in a fair one. I know some white boys who will beat a nice majority of you YouTube internet niggas the fuck up, man. All white boys ain't soft. I was locked up with some very, very thorough white dudes, man. Right? Who I got a lot of respect for. But the majority of white dudes, y'all some soft, y'all punks, man. The majority of white guys, y'all soft as fuck, right? Most of y'all can't fight either. You feel me? Oh, nah, you good, Blade Monger, bro. You good, bro. You already know. I just say that to say, right, that the other white boy, that white boy right there, he would have been so traumatized by what happened to his friend, he would have ran, nigga. And this ain't me being tough. This ain't me being gangster, because I tell you, I'm none of that. I'm not a tough guy. I ain't a gangster, but I can fucking fight real good. And after that white boy would have seen what I did to his homeboy, he would have ran. He would not have been trying to catch that fade with me. He would have ran. Man, listen. You hear me? You hear me? And like I said, I'm not a gangster. I'm not a tough guy at all, man. If you can fight, you could probably get the best of me, man. Probably, if you can. But see, I know that most of you niggas can't fight. I don't give a fuck what city, state you from. Most of you niggas is hoes. Most of you niggas ain't never really been in shit. Most of you niggas ain't never even been in a real fight before. Right? Most of you niggas can't fight. Ain't gonna fight. Which is why everybody got their route. Everybody talking about with the blicky. Everybody got the blicky. All right? Anybody can shoot somebody, goddamn body. That ain't right. But when I seen that right there, what you whack, I said, man, I don't believe it, man. I don't give a fuck about no reputation and no hood. I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm from Ohio, nigga. I don't care about that shit. That shit ain't hitting up on nothing with me. And I just say all that to say that I hear all this stuff about this guy. I seen that. I said, I just can't accept it. Right? That nigga didn't strike the fear of God in them white boys like how I know I could, or some niggas from my city I know can. That nigga ain't strike the fear of God in them white dudes, man. After that white dude would have seen what I did to his homeboy, he would have ran, nigga. He would not have been trying to fight with me. He would have ran the other way. You feel me? Niggas scared one nigga Uncle D said niggas go to sleep every night but scared to get knocked out. Exactly. Niggas go to sleep every night but scared to get knocked out, man. I just don't believe it, man. I just don't believe it, man. There we have it, y'all. From the Coliseum to the Octagon, from the penitentiary to the streets and back. And now we on YouTube. Agent provocateurs and rabble-rousers abound. Right? Don't ever forget that, y'all. Thank y'all for coming out tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to do this show, y'all, to show y'all, man, that, man, the same stuff that was going on back in the day, it's going on now. Right? Bread and circuses is still in full effect. It's still in full effect. They still prophetizing, making money off of seeing us beat each other up, beef with each other online. Right? They making money off of that. Who benefits from that? Not us, not society, not wider society. Just like back in the day, wider society didn't benefit from what was going on in the Colosseum in Rome. Only Rome benefited from that. Right? Tomorrow night we're going in, y'all. E&E Hip Hop Tuesdays. We paying homage to our brother O'Shea Jackson. Not my brother O'Shea Duke Jackson, but, you know, the original O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube. We're going to be paying homage to Cube tomorrow, man. I think Cube is definitely one of the most underrated artists from the 90s, right? He's better known for his movies and stuff nowadays, but, you know, before he got into movies, man, Ice Cube was one of the most popular rappers that came out, especially when he went solo after he left NWA. He had an awesome career, classic albums, and we're going to get to it tomorrow, right? You hear me? I want y'all to pay attention to the Ouroboros agenda, man. I'm working on the book. I'm going to get the book done probably by the end of this year and go through all the whole process of getting it published and all of that, man. But I want y'all to know that, man, especially with tonight's show, you know what I'm talking about? The Ouroboros agenda is in full effect, man. Don't make no mistakes about it. We are being made to consume ourselves on every level, right? And one of the major reasons major ways we're being made to consume ourselves is through organized violence, organized chaos. And people like Whack 100, people like American Cholo, and a lot more of these other guys, if you ask me, are agent provocateurs and rabble rousers, in that they are wittingly, intentionally trying to cause separation and division, confusion amongst especially specifically Black and brown people. Like I told y'all, the so-called race riot intended to be incited amongst Black and white folks has not worked. Clearly. I'm pretty sure if y'all tapping in with me, y'all can see that. Can y'all not see how over the past 10 years we have been violently radicalized by ideologically based violence through the media, specifically on the internet? White cops killing Black people, Black young Black men, Black women, for apparently no reason. All of them mind fucking psyops, all of them, from Trayvon Martin to Ahmaud Arbery, right? That stuff hasn't worked. Now, George Floyd kind of worked. Because the thing with George Floyd was used as a tool to spread disaster capital all across America, specifically in 12 major cities. Columbus, Ohio being one of them, right? But look what happened as a result of that. You know, we rioted, we fucked our own cities up, but nothing really changed, and it really wasn't no race war between white and Black people. More so, it was an altercation, if you could call that, between, I guess you could say, mostly Black people and the police. See, it didn't even work the way they implemented it or intended it to, right? So now, since that didn't work, now they got to try to start a race war between Black and brown, right? Y'all see it? Pay attention and tap in, walk with us, man. We going in tomorrow night, paying homage and respect and tribute to Ice Cube. You feel me? Make sure y'all tap in tomorrow. You know, so I'm gonna leave y'all with this joint right here, man. I always gotta play this song for you in the outro, man, because when we going out, because this is what it is, man. And as long as y'all staying awoke out there versus waking up, y'all ain't gonna see none of this stuff. So, man, hit that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, sharing your social engineering. Thank y'all for coming out. Like I said, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all right here with me, and I respect that. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Share on your social engineering. Tell everybody to tap in, walk with us. Go over there to my brother Red Supreme TV1. Subscribe to his page. Go over there to my brother Mr. O with the info. Subscribe to his page. You understand what I'm saying? Tap in and walk with us. Support the real ones, man. My man Cut to the Chase. Go over there and support the brother Cut to the Chase, man. Subscribe to him. You know what I'm talking about? Support the real ones, man. Support the real ones out here making actual real content for y'all, man. Putting their life on their line. You know, literally camming up. Y'all got to understand how important this is, man. Camming up. We got jobs. We regular people like y'all. We got jobs. We got businesses and stuff. We got reputations, man. And we willing to put all of that online by bringing y'all this actual real content, talking about the things that most people don't want to talk about, speaking on them from aspects that most of them ain't, can't, and won't, right? At the same time, showing who our faces is. Putting ourselves to public scrutiny. We got skin in the game, literally. Rest of these niggas fucking hiding behind avatars and shit like hoes. 2023 and beyond, cam your motherfucking ass up. You gonna be on here talking heavy, cam the fuck up or shut the fuck up. Flat out. Y'all be easy. Enjoy this now song. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Hey, this the guarantee on the track with me. This the guarantee. Yeah. We bringing this message to you fake woke niggas. Gotta wake these niggas up. That's all y'all be doing, spreading the lies and falling victim to this propaganda. Niggas believe this. Talk to this shit. Niggas be surrounding me daily. So I dance around them like my name was Ivan Haley. Niggas be surrounding me daily. Alarm clock, play them up, time to wake them up. Niggas be surrounding me daily. So I dance around them like my name was Ivan Haley. Niggas be surrounding me daily. Alarm clock, play them up, time to wake them up. Gotta set the alarm, wake you up from the slumber. Feeling hairy, fake woke niggas, y'all just know. Use the people don't pay any attention. Let's see immediately. We the wake them up history. A lot of times these woke niggas be really sleep. Shit, the price on a nigga's life is extra real. Only the real from my niggas. We all only we made a living eating these rappers, nigga. Bon appetit. Yeah, pause. Me and my brethren be down for the cause. We gotta come together and tear down all these walls. In illusory fault lines like racism, and bring light to the world, just like the Baptist. The congregation spoke. These niggas ain't who they claim they be. A bunch of beat a pop off. Niggas really be lame to me. Anytime you at war, it's gonna be casualties. The more we come together, it's easy to beat the enemy. World niggas be surrounding me daily. My niggas surrounding like my name was Alvin Haley. World niggas be surrounding me daily. Alarm clock, wake them up. Time to wake them up. World niggas be surrounding me daily. My niggas surrounding like my name was Alvin Haley. World niggas be surrounding me daily. Alarm clock, wake them up. Time to wake them up. Alarm clock to the woke. Time to wake them up. The main initiative should be to get your cake up. You wave riding niggas need life jackets to stay afloat. Meanwhile, I'm blowing no gas straight from the Ivory Coast. Every post I be hitting, y'all be demonstrating facts. This hybrid is out here. We gotta face down. They coming with microchips and vaccinations. They know niggas perpetuating indoctrination. This pandemic scam. This was the damn gimmicks. Niggas will believe that they mom died and she still living. Open your eyes, nigga. You can see the lies, niggas. We gotta stop letting the blind lead the blind, nigga. And that's the biggest fact, bitch. You better tell us this. 23rd, it's gonna be hell, niggas. Fuck AOC.